Wait. I'd rather be caught.
Was Transformers: Rescue Bots really just a gentle preschool spin-off? Or was it one of the most quietly radical experiments the franchise ever attempted? Transformers: Rescue Bots wasn't just a kids' show. It was a structural reset, a series built without war, without constant villains, without destruction as the default solution. And behind that calm surface sat bold creative risks, unusual production choices, and decisions that reshaped how Transformers could exist on television. Stories were rebuilt around responsibility instead of combat. Action was reframed as problem-solving. And for the first time, Autobots were defined by what they saved, not what they destroyed. Here are 15 wild facts about Transformers: Rescue Bots, the behind-the-scenes truths most fans never hear. Stay until the end, because its legacy is far bigger than its reputation. Let's roll out. Fact 1. Rescue Bots is designed without a war premise. Most Transformers series begin with conflict. Rescue Bots begins with responsibility. From the earliest planning stages, producers decide the show will not revolve around an ongoing war. No global invasions, no endless battles, no constant threat escalation. That choice changes everything. Conflicts become situational, not ideological. Problems emerge from accidents, natural disasters, and human error. The Autobots don't arrive to defeat enemies. They arrive to stabilize chaos. What audiences don't realize is how radical this is for the franchise. Rescue Bots proves Transformers can exist without a battlefield. Heroism isn't measured by victories, it's measured by prevention. The series isn't about winning, it's about helping, and that foundation reshapes every episode that follows. Fact 2. The show is built specifically for preschool-level comprehension. Rescue Bots doesn't simplify Transformers, it restructures it. Every episode is designed around clarity. Vocabulary is controlled. Stakes are understandable. Solutions are explained step by step. Nothing relies on prior lore. This isn't accidental. Writers receive strict guidelines about emotional pacing and cognitive load. Scenes are structured to teach cause and effect. Problems are introduced clearly. Resolutions are reinforced verbally. What audiences don't know is that the show functions almost like a learning model. Action scenes aren't just exciting, they're instructional. Each mission quietly reinforces teamwork, patience, and problem-solving. Rescue Bots isn't trying to impress longtime fans. It's trying to build first-time ones, carefully, deliberately, and with intention. Fact 3. Optimus Prime is reframed as a mentor, not a commander. In Rescue Bots, Optimus Prime rarely leads battles. Instead, he advises, observes, guides. This version of Optimus isn't focused on tactics. He's focused on growth. He allows mistakes. He encourages reflection. He models restraint. What audiences don't realize is that this portrayal is intentional. Producers want Optimus to feel like a teacher figure rather than a general. Authority is calm, not commanding. Wisdom replaces urgency. This shift influences how younger viewers interpret leadership. Strength isn't loud. Control isn't dominance. Power is knowing when not to act. Rescue Bots quietly reshapes Optimus Prime into something new. Not a warrior icon, but a moral anchor. Fact 4. Combat is actively de-emphasized in action scenes. Action still exists in Rescue Bots, but it's framed differently. Instead of clashes, there are rescues. Instead of attacks, there are evacuations. Instead of defeating opponents, there's containment and repair. Even when danger escalates, the focus stays on minimizing harm. What audiences don't know is that this requires extra scripting effort. Writers must find tension without violence, stakes without enemies, momentum without destruction. That's harder than it sounds. Rescue Bots proves action doesn't require aggression. Excitement can come from urgency, coordination, and time pressure. The show rewires what heroic looks like, especially for its intended audience. Fact 5. Human characters drive most episode solutions. Unlike many Transformers series, humans aren't observers here. They're partners. Human characters identify problems. They suggest plans. They model emotional responses. The Autobots support rather than dominate. This balance is deliberate. Producers want children to see themselves in the solutions, not just in the spectacle. What audiences don't realize is that humans function as narrative equals. They provide context the Autobots lack. They ask questions the audience might ask. They reinforce learning moments without stopping the story. Rescue Bots isn't about robots saving humans. It's about cooperation, and that distinction defines the series. Fact 6. The show avoids villain arcs to maintain emotional safety. Many episodes lack a traditional antagonist entirely. That's by design. Producers want to avoid fear-driven engagement. There are threats, but not ongoing villains designed to intimidate. Danger comes from circumstance, not malice. What audiences don't know is that this approach dramatically limits story shortcuts. Writers can't rely on easy conflict. Every episode must invent a new scenario grounded in everyday risk. Fires, collapses, mechanical failures, weather emergencies. Rescue Bots treats danger as something to manage, not something to fight. That choice keeps the emotional tone stable and accessible, especially for younger viewers. Fact 7. The animation style is simplified for visual readability. Character designs are bold, shapes are clean, colors are distinct. This isn't budget limitation, it's visual strategy. Every frame is built for instant recognition. No cluttered compositions, no chaotic motion. Movement is readable even at a glance. What audiences don't realize is how intentional this is. The show prioritizes comprehension over spectacle. Children should always know who is acting, what is happening, and why. Rescue Bots isn't trying to overwhelm. It's trying to guide, and the animation reflects that mission. Fact 8. Episodes are structured around problem-solving models. Each episode follows a consistent internal logic. Identify the problem, assess the risk, choose a tool, work together, resolve safely. This repetition isn't lazy writing, it's reinforcement. What audiences don't know is that this structure mirrors real-world emergency response logic. The Autobots behave like responders, not fighters. Planning matters more than strength. Rescue Bots quietly teaches viewers how systems work, without ever calling attention to the lesson. Fact 9. Humor is used to regulate tension, not undermine stakes. Jokes in Rescue Bots appear at specific moments. They don't interrupt danger, they follow it. This placement is deliberate. Humor acts as emotional release. It helps reset tone after stressful moments. It reassures without dismissing risk. What audiences don't realize is that comedy here is functional. It keeps the experience safe without making problems feel trivial. The show understands when to breathe. Fact 10. Rescue Bots is used as a gateway into the Transformers brand. Behind the scenes, Rescue Bots serves a very specific strategic purpose. It isn't designed to satisfy longtime fans first. It's designed to introduce new ones. Producers treat the series as a starting line. No heavy continuity, no dense mythology, no obligation to know past wars or ancient rivalries. Instead, the focus stays on core values: teamwork, responsibility, patience, courage. Everything is intentional. Character introductions are clean. Conflicts are understandable. Solutions are explained clearly. Viewers are never punished for not knowing more. And here's where it quietly succeeds where many spin-offs fail. It doesn't demand loyalty. It doesn't test knowledge. It doesn't ask viewers to catch up. It builds familiarity first. Rescue Bots understands that fandom grows through comfort, not pressure. Once trust is established, curiosity follows. And that makes it one of the smartest long-term brand moves Transformers ever makes. Fact 11. Emotional stakes are kept personal, not global. No world-ending threats, no apocalyptic countdowns. Stakes are small but meaningful, saving one person, protecting one space, fixing one mistake. What audiences don't know is that this scale keeps emotion grounded. Viewers understand the impact immediately. Loss feels tangible. Success feels earned. Rescue Bots proves you don't need massive stakes to create investment. You need clarity and care. Fact 12. The show actively avoids cynicism. There's something Rescue Bots refuses to use. Cynicism. No sarcasm undercuts danger. No ironic humor dismisses effort. No character mocks sincerity. Problems are treated as real. Solutions are treated as meaningful. Trying matters. That tone is not accidental. Producers deliberately steer away from detachment. They want earnestness to lead. They want responsibility to feel valuable, not embarrassing. What audiences don't realize is how rare this becomes in later children's media. Many shows rely on irony as distance. Rescue Bots does the opposite. It leans in. Every rescue is treated with respect. Every mistake is treated as a chance to learn. No one is laughed at for caring. The result is a show that feels calm, sincere, and grounded. Rescue Bots doesn't just avoid cynicism, it rejects it completely. Fact 13. Rescue Bots influences how later series handle younger audiences. Later Transformers series borrow from Rescue Bots more than they admit. Clearer stakes, emotional guidance, slower pacing when needed. The show proves that accessibility doesn't weaken storytelling, it broadens it. Rescue Bots becomes a reference point, even when its influence goes unspoken. Fact 14. The series expands what hero means in Transformers. In Rescue Bots, heroism looks different. Strength matters less than restraint. Speed matters less than coordination. Victory matters less than safety. Heroes don't rush in swinging. They stop, assess, communicate, prepare. What audiences don't realize is how dramatically this reframes the Transformers' identity. Power isn't shown through dominance, it's shown through control, through knowing when to act and when to wait. The Autobots aren't celebrated for force, they're respected for judgment. This version of heroism doesn't contradict the franchise's past, it broadens it. It adds a new dimension, one built on responsibility rather than confrontation. Rescue Bots teaches that saving the day isn't about defeating someone. Sometimes it's about holding everything together long enough for things to be fixed. Fact 15. Rescue Bots' legacy is bigger than its spin-off label. At first glance, Rescue Bots feels smaller. The tone is calmer, the pace is gentler. The stakes are closer to home. It doesn't announce itself as important, but its impact lasts. The series proves Transformers can exist without constant conflict. That heroism doesn't require destruction. That responsibility can be exciting, not boring. That kindness can carry momentum. What audiences eventually recognize is that Rescue Bots doesn't shrink the franchise. It stretches it. It opens space for stories that weren't possible before. It isn't just a spin-off. It's an expansion of what Transformers is allowed to be, and that makes its legacy far larger than it ever appears on the surface. Transformers, Rescue Bots isn't a side story. It's a statement that even in a universe built on battles, the most important transformation can be learning how to help. If you enjoyed uncovering these hidden truths, like subscribe and remember, not every hero charges forward. Some are built to hold things together.